our spirit, our mind is also a very strong part of health. So when the WHO, the World Health Organization, defines health, they talk about your well-being all round, physically, spiritually, mentally. So when you say, how do I keep healthy? My question is, which health are we talking about? Which aspect? There are so many aspects. But because I do a lot of cardiovascular work, heart and blood vessel work, I may lean more to things like blood pressure, things like stroke prevention, things like diabetes care. But please, I'm a physician all round. So your question should not only focus on hypertensive problems. I asked about the elderly in the church because it's a crown for us to have the older people in our midst. I don't even know what to call them. I don't like calling them older. I think it's the more accomplished people that we should call them. It's a crown to any group, any society, that they have gone through everything that life has given to them, life has thrown at them, and they've maintained life. None of them walked as though they need a walking aid. I don't know if you noticed. None of them walked as though they need a walking aid. It is only God that gives that. If there is any science, if there is any physical endowment that anybody will promise you can keep one alive and well to that point, it's almost a lie. Because there have been millions of people who have had the same characteristics that they have had, who died young. So the spiritual aspect of health is a very strong part of it all. So my first slide says, did you know that some people have their heart on the right side? Where are the teenagers in the church? Do we have the teenagers in church? Yes. So can anybody tell us which side the heart is on? The human heart. If you are looking for the heart on a human being, which side are you likely to find it? On the left. But in ABEOKUTA here, we have a few people who God made wonderfully with their hearts on the right. And they are healthy. And they'll get to 90. In fact, maybe grandma's heart is on her right and nobody has ever known. So God does what he does. And we're the better for it. What's our life expectancy like in Nigeria? It's still below 60 years. That means that when a baby is born, the expectation, if that baby is in Nigeria, is that it's not likely to live beyond the age of 60 years. That's the reality of our life. Is it doctors that are going to change it? It's beyond the hospital. It is the town planners who sell off all the school fields so that children grow up going to school in schools where they don't have break time that you can run. Any town planner here? It's in the people in charge of budget who give more to security vote. And they give a little to childhood nutrition, school food, and nursing school scholarship. Everything goes to security vote now. And very fine billboards. Has anybody seen the billboards coming up in town? Kima sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀. So they don't pick me up. Our health as a community is one. And then our health as individuals is a step down from that general health. So sometimes I ask people, why do you want to go to heaven? Is it because you like yourself so much, so you don't want to go to hell? Or do you truly love? And an outcome of that love is that you will be one with love. Am I talking too much? So sometimes I ask, why do we want to be healthy? and live long. The most accomplished person died at 33. So why do you want to live long? Because it's because we want to live long that we want to be healthy. Some are philosophical questions. Let me allow you to digest that. We'll come back. So life expectancy in Nigeria is too low. And it's not because we don't have good medical doctors or because we're waiting for good hospitals. Because Afghanistan, for over 10 years, has had better life expectancy. Afghanistan is the place where they've been fighting wars. I think it's over 25 years now. And even before the wars, it was a very hostile terrain. Their own mountain is a different type. Their weather, winter is a different type. So they have so many reasons to have people dying. But they've been better than us. Their survival has been better than us. I want to stir something in your mind this morning, that wherever you sit, when people die of preventable disease, you have something you can do to change, whether you're a teacher, whether you're an administrator, whether you're a beautician. And when we talk, you will see why. Are we getting better? As the internet has come, AI has come, fashion has evolved. I have a tailor, and he sewed 2 dresses for me. I said, these dresses are a miracle. He's a man, he's a tailor. He sewed dress. In fact, the dress is still hanging. I've been looking at it. I said, this is a miracle. Our people are intelligent. We know so much. We read so much. There's so much health information you have. I don't need to tell you. That's the truth. But as this knowledge is expanding, it's supposed to bring life. That's scripture, I believe. Why are things getting worse? So is it a balance of our physical health versus our spiritual health? Because wherever iniquity sits, death comes. So things are getting worse, there's no doubt. The 10 main causes of death in Nigeria. Death in the newborn because of complications of things that happen to newborn babies. But we keep secrets a lot. You know, when something happens to you as a new mother, your mother-in-law doesn't get to know. So knowledge gets trapped. We don't share those things. Out of grief, too, we don't talk about those things. But newborn death is a problem. If we don't know that many Nigerians die in the first 28 days of life, they are Nigerians, then we will not even know how to address the problem. So we need to give our young women, young girls, young boys too, because they will marry the young women, information. Even during all our health talk, we need to teach children and younger people certain things so that when they get to those points, they know that, oh, it's good to have immunization, it's good to eat well in pregnancy, it's good to avoid alcohol, it's good to keep the environment clean so we don't need tobacco smoke. Those are some of the things that kill younger children before the age of 5. The exposures that some have, whether where they live or with parents or where they are taken care of, is part of why we may have early death. Malaria is still a cause of death. We have a lot of anti-malaria drug in the town, but there are people that can't afford it. So even in the local area, in the village, the rural areas, there are people that can't buy malaria medications for children. They can't even make the diagnosis. So you find out that a child is ill for 2 days and the child dies. It's still happening. And where church is, we shouldn't have that. I believe that as the church, where government fails, the church should be able to bridge. So even if it is malaria care in the hinterland, that is something that I think that as we evangelize, we should also look at. It's still a major cause of death. Diarrheal disease. All the people that had the money for water resources budget, they are part of because of diarrheal disease. So we still have contaminated water. We still have people who make packaged water that is not safe or not clean. So that still gives us, you know, a significant deal of diarrheal disease. We still have town planners again, who position houses with soak away near the public water supply. I didn't think of town planners this morning, but something is happening. So we have contamination, especially during the dry season, when the water is becoming, the volume is becoming less. You have concentration of, the bacteria, the germs that were not many before, they now become thicker in the water, and then you start having people having diarrheal disease. One cause of kidney failure is diarrhea. Did you know that? That somebody can have kidney failure months or years or even weeks later because they had diarrhea. I don't know if people know that. So it's a very important thing. When you think that it is an attack, that somebody has had kidney failure, that person may have had a very bad cause of occurrence of diarrhea. If diarrhea is so bad that the person doesn't pass urine, cannot pass urine for a period of 6 hours or more, the kidneys will bear a mark. And if it doesn't reverse fully, in years to come, 3-5 years, the person goes to the end stage. So diarrhea is not a funny thing as we may have thought of it. Pneumonia, chest infection. So if you are the person that is in charge of public housing or housing fund and you stole the money, and you now allow my people to build houses near site, and they are building 50 houses where one house should have stood. No room to park the car, no room to nothing. You have overcrowding. You have breeding, exchange of, breath from, within families and between families. And chest infection spread. Tuberculosis is one of those type of chest infections. And it can cause death. Usually, pneumonia would causes more death in children under 5, but also in the very elderly. And in those people who have any form of immune disturbance. Our immunity is what fights germs inside our body. So if somebody has low immunity, pregnancy causes low immunity, high blood sugar causes low immunity, smoking causes low immunity, any major illness that comes causes low immunity. The person gets pneumonia on top of that, the chances of death are high. So, retroviral disease, HIV/AIDS, is another thing that kills our people. The treatment for HIV and AIDS has actually been free for the most part since I left school. So for almost 30 years, we have had free treatment for HIV and AIDS. But you and I know that it is not as simple as that. The first time a person is told that he has AIDS or has HIV, his spirit dies. True or false? Choir. Have you ever met anybody who was told that he has HIV? It's not likely you have met them. Because the way the spirit dies, they won't tell their twin brother. And we have many who are married whose spouses don't know that they have HIV/AIDS. We put them on medication. The law is that you can't tell the spouse. But that says something about who we are. That however, faith-filled we may be, sometimes it's difficult to share those things. So the thing is not to castigate people. The thing is to build ourselves better. So that should we ever be in a situation where, where doing good becomes a challenge, God makes it easier for us. HIV/AIDS is still with us. It's still a major cause of death when people do not take medications. And sometimes when they take the medication, they don't take it regularly. It's one of those diseases where you must take the drug every day. And we know that there are many diseases like that. It has become like hypertension now, because you can see a person who is on treatment for HIV/AIDS and there is almost no trace of the germ in his blood again. So it may not transmit. But it takes a lot of testing and checking to get to that point where a person who has HIV is almost zero virus. Even at that point, he must for life continue to use the medication. What's the issue with HIV? HIV can make any organ in the body become like an agbero. So it can make the kidneys start to misbehave. It can make the heart start to misbehave. It can cause psychiatric manifestation. It can cause stroke. It can cause diabetes. It can cause low blood level. It can cause the muscles to be weak. It can damage nerves. It can do so many things. So it's not a single thing that is HIV complex. It's so many different illnesses that can come. The one that I see more often than most of these ones, heart disease and heart attacks, is also a common cause. Stroke as well is also a common cause. Meningitis. In the hot areas, in the distant areas, we have more meningitis. But we do have meningitis occurring here. Funnily, all these ones that I have said, they are not even the most common. What do you think is the most common cause of death among adults? In many areas of the world, it is still road traffic accidents and trauma. So whether it's trauma from war, trauma from accidents, accidents are still, growing up, we heard more about somebody who had an accident who died. I don't know if that's your experience, but that's my own experience. So speed kills. Young people, speed kills. Some of these causes of death I've talked about, they are contagious. If somebody gets it, he can give it to the next person if you touch him and all that. Some are not contagious. In Africa now, abroad, they have a lot of road traffic accidents. They have a lot of trauma deaths. In some of the rural areas, we have a lot of infection causing death. In Nigeria, what do we have? We have the two. So they call it double burden. So anytime you go for a WHO meeting or any of the public health conferences, once they say double burden, we know ourselves. It's like we have the worst of everything. And it's your duty to look at why that is. Because we tend to look at, oh, one doctor, one matron in my area. We don't look at our own responsibility. Our school teachers. So I'm a doctor, but my children know more about health from their school teachers. So those school teachers, who is teaching them? Who is telling them? So somebody shut down our teacher training colleges and finished our destiny, except for God. Who is teaching our teachers? So church, choir, I hope you are writing down all the assignments for church. Because once the church is done with us, we will be healthy. Some of the infectious diseases that we have are new diseases. They are evolving diseases. They are not diseases that are common. We've heard of Ebola. We were all running away from each other when Ebola came. There are some Ebola-like diseases that can come and can disgrace the doctor. So a person comes with malaria, ojo malaria, and you are treating malaria, or you're a me doctor, professor, you are treating malaria, malaria is not going. You know that there is a problem. I don't know if there are many health workers here, but that's where I usually teach about the Faggot sign. If somebody has a fever and has normal pulse rate, wahala, call the state epidemiologist. I suspect Lassa fever, or I suspect Ebola has come. Somebody cannot have a fever and not have the signs of fever. Fever raises our heart rate. If a person has fever and his heart rate is staying normal or low, it's not your patient too. Call the state epidemiologist. Those are little things. I'm saying it for the benefit of the health workers here. Our matrons, our CHUs, they're always treating everybody. They are Florence Nightingale. Somebody has a fever, his heart rate is staying normal, it's not your patient. That's a patient for isolation. As simple as that is. God has done certain things that are so, you know, I look at it, I'm like, you don't even need CT scan to know there is problem. Just count the pulse rate. Somebody's temperature is 40 degrees, pulse rate is 80, trouble. Simple as that. Isn't God wonderful? Choir. I don't know if you understand. If we needed money to get that first step, we would be in trouble. We'll all get it. So God works. Let's talk about stroke. There are so many things to talk about. I have over 200 slides. Do you have more time? What is partial stroke? Who is the soprano lead? What is partial stroke? Tenor, alto, bass. Point out who is the soprano lead. She should stand up. It's always a she. She should stand up. Who is the person? You don't have. So the lead drummer should answer. Lead drummer, stand up. GOs are, they are all denying themselves now. You see, it wasn't easy for Simon Peter. So, I just want you to remember in 10 years' time. That's why I joke a bit. There's nothing like partial stroke. Nothing like partial stroke. When the brain has had a completed injury, however tiny it is, we say it's a stroke. So if there is an injury, there is a stroke. Now, it may affect the area for talking, and the person can run 440 but can't speak. It's a stroke, completed stroke. It has taken a function away or affected a function. It may affect the area that feels pain. So the person will just be having pain on one side of the body, for example. He can move, he can talk. It's still a stroke. If it affects the nerve going to the eye, the person cannot see. I'm not an eye specialist. I know you know where to go if you have eye problem. It's still a stroke. So when we talk of a partial stroke, it makes us psychologically to reduce our guard, not to be too focused on preventing the next stroke. Where cassava grew this year, it will grow next year. So where a stroke event has happened, there is a lot of other areas that repeat stroke events can keep happening, irrespective of what caused it. So once you have one area that has completed, it doesn't matter the manifestation. It is a stroke. So please help me to beg the people out there to stop talking of partial stroke. When I see a stroke event, I start running to prevent for life any repeat in that brain. That brain becomes a precious brain. Some people can have stroke and it affects one whole part of the body. Some people can have stroke and it affects both sides of the body. When you have weakness on one side, weakness on the other side, start looking at the heart. A lot of the times, the stroke that comes from blood clots in the heart affects two places. That kind of stroke may get better. It's usually worst at the minute that it starts. Then it gets better. From what I've said, as that person recovered, functionally the person is better, but the brain has changed for life. That brain needs that protection more than even the other strokes that happen on only one side, and we still have weakness lingering over the years. I hope I'm not boring you. If I'm boring you, just tell me. I will change base. So stroke. If we all live long enough, we are likely to get a stroke. So if we live to be 110, we may get a stroke. Why? Because the body, like church knows, cannot live forever. It must age. So if we live long enough, we may just quietly have a stroke and we transmute and go back to our Father and leave the body for the sand. How do we prevent this stroke from coming earlier? Is my job, is the doctor's job. There's really no way we can prevent aging. And so taking stroke as more or less like a point of reference for other cardiovascular diseases, there are things that we should do to prevent stroke. By preventing stroke and other cardiovascular diseases, we keep healthier. One very important aspect is dietary salt reduction. The salt in our food, reducing it. Choir, please, can you name 10 food in your house today that have salt? I'm going to give choir an assignment. If you don't answer this one, you'll be reporting to my clinic every week to come and be learning lessons. Anybody, where are the young people? I want a young person to come and speak. Which food do you know has salt? Our 1 hour is almost gone now. Or do you have a mic you can pass to the young people? So at the hospital, I like to ask people to bring their children. Bring 1 or 2 of the children. Why? You know, as adults, our habits are very difficult to change. It's very difficult for us to reduce our salt intake. But when your 16-year-old followed you to the hospital, for life, your grandchildren will hear the story of how they told grandma and grandpa to stop taking much salt. So we talk of a life course approach to health now. Don't just go as the father of the family to the hospital and secretly keep your information to yourself. Your child has a right to your information. And the decisions that you make, your child has a right to know so that they make the same decisions. Because cardiovascular diseases in each generation comes earlier. So if my father had hypertension at the age of 60, I may have it at 40. So the children are part of your information. Please. Anybody, any of the young people telling me which food has salt? Do you have another microphone? Just pass it around if they are shy. Or take my own. Which food has salt in your house? I want 10 before we move on. We have a lot also. I may take the time of offertory at this rate. Which food in your house? Good, thank you, my dear. Please, can we give her a round of applause? Finally. Are you the soprano lead? Okay, I'm still looking for her. Please help me with that.
We have rice.
Rice.
Beans.
Beans.
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Ewedu.
Ewedu.
Efo.
Efo.
Moi moi.
Moi moi.
Akara.
Akara.
Indomie.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Indomie.
hear. Indomie.
Then yam.
Yam.
Stew.
Good.
Everything.
Of all these foods that you have listed, which one was born without salt? We are the ones that baptize most of the food with salt. So of all these food you've listed, which one is born without salt?
Nothing.
When you take rice and you boil it with water, does it generate salt?
No.
Exactly. So you can actually avoid adding salt to rice, yam, beans. True or false? You can make your sauce moderately salted. True or false? You can use some of the local spices to reduce the need for Maggi, Royco. True or false? If you like, don't say true. Oh. The BP will go up. Oh. Rice is born without salt until it meets you. The salt of the earth. Now we. Yam has no salt until it unites with us in the kitchen. So for years, I have boiled yam and not added salt because it makes you feel like a liar when you go to the clinic every day, every week, and you are telling people reduce salt. So very early on in my married life, I actually started making yam without adding salt. I started boiling rice without adding salt so that I know that one day my daddy will call me to come and talk to his church, and I can talk like somebody that is experiencing it. That without having high blood pressure, I had started to reduce salt. Do you know the surprise about it? As my children grow, it has become a bit difficult for them to eat jollof from Sweet Sensation. So sometimes when, in fact, in life, what you raise children with becomes easier for them to live with, becomes their normal. It's the same thing with bad fashion, with promiscuity, with alcoholism, with smoking. The principles in the Bible are the principles in medical textbook. True or false? True. Start it early and it becomes easier. Don't wait until there is a stroke before you start to adjust those things. Salt your stew, your sauce moderately, egg moderately. Always have that consciousness that this thing is almost like alcohol. It's addictive. Taste is addictive. So let me reduce it a little bit and then make the overwhelming salted food, more difficult to find comfortable. Indomie. Thank you, my sister, for bringing up Indomie. I have a slide on Indomie. Indomie meaning noodles, so not the company. Come and let them not say I came after them. But the truth is that the salt content in the regular noodles seasoning, the small one, there is the big one. That small one, from my boarding school days, we had that small one coming newly then. It's about 50% of the daily salt requirement for an adult. Let me say it again. The seasoning, sachet, Toman Shine, that foil pack, has about half the total amount of sodium, the active ingredient that raises blood pressure in salt, that an adult needs in a full day. The small pack. Me alone, I can eat 3. So if I use all the seasoning in that pack, I will get more than the day's safe requirement of sodium. So you see why I was happy when she called that food. Because all the grandmas here, they are making the same noodles for their beloved grandchildren to take to KG. They don't do it for the primary 4, for the KG, because it's convenient, because it is easy. And that is why the road that is easy is almost always the dangerous road. Almost always in life. Once you see a food that is very easy, Pringles, salt, bread, salt, bread, salt, puff-puff. Who are those that make puff-puff? The sweetest puff-puff, what's the only ingredient that makes it? If you eat puff-puff and it tastes balanced, what's the ingredient? It's not the sugar. It's salt. Uncle doesn't know. You better know because you have to be cooking at home too. Otherwise, your wife will cook anything for you and you'll be collecting it. So salt is a balancer of taste. It balances anything, but you must learn to moderate it. Auntie, you didn't call fruits. Do fruits have salt? No. Not only do fruits lack salt, but they have potassium that helps us to push out excess salt. So supposing you are away from home or you don't cook and you have had your regular, in quote, salt, which is too much for your body, fruits are an antidote to salt. Do we eat fruits every day? Is there anybody in this hall who has taken fruits daily in the past 3 months? All right. Thank you. I want to thank the grandmas who are behind that feat. We have 3 people who have taken fruits every day this year. Am I wrong to say it is only because of grandma that you have 3 of you taking fruits every day this year, sir? I'm not wrong. The grandmas who are responsible for that feat, can they tell me that they have taken fruits every day? No, they won't eat after cooking for everybody. True or false? They tend not to eat. Then in the evening, they get a little hungry and they take bread and tea, a little Coca-Cola. So a lot of times, the people who are caring for others neglect themselves. And what did he do? He raised deacons. Why were deacons raised? To help, because the work gets overwhelmed. So I tell families too, that the carer, who is caring for the carer? So it is possible for families to come together and get one helper for our grandmas. It's possible to keep a timetable for the grandmas, because women actually have a higher incidence of stroke on both sides of the brain. And so women tend to die easier from cardiovascular emergencies than men. Men may survive 3 strokes. It's not common to find a woman survive 1. So salt restriction. Pringles, try not to take it too often. It has a lot of salt. The large tablets of vitamin C that bubble also have some salt, so don't take it every day. The regular local vitamin C is better than that US vitamin C, so just 1 gram. So man bubble know me. What's the best vitamin C? Please buy fruit and chop. Plant fruit. Did I say buy fruit? Sorry for saying buy fruit. Plant fruit. Plant in church. Plant at home. Plant in school. Take fruits. Some of our arthritis drugs, the pain medications, also have salt or behave chemically like salt, so they can raise blood pressure. So ibuprofen, diclofenac, they can raise blood pressure. Because they are used for pain that lingers, we try to ask people to do other things to reduce the pain, and that's where physiotherapy comes. It's not that we know physiotherapy is not a cure, but we want to reduce the amount of salt-like exposure that people have. So we beg you, don't use painkillers so frequently. Better still, ask your doctor. Pink salt is salt. Sea salt is salt. Jordan salt is salt. All salt is salt. Is there any other source of salt? Ma? All, whether Malaya, whether Kilimanjaro, all salt is salt. Lot's wife is salt. All is salt. So, but you know, the devil also dresses up evil as manageable. So it's the same principles on a certain level. So the other one is weight management. So salt, then weight management. The more stressed a person is, the easier the person can gain weight. Did you know that? If you have long-term stress, so if you're a matron, you do night shifts, sleep deprivation from the age of 21 to the age of 50, you will gain weight easier on 1 meal a day. I don't know if you've ever observed that. So people who have long-term stress and sleep deprivation, they have higher stress hormone, cortisol. So it's easier to gain weight. So we tell people to also look for those things that you can't run from some of life's stress, but you can have stress relievers. Church community, it's already a stress reliever. Take time out to do those things that give your mind peace. So there are people who have had difficulty with blood pressure. And some days I say, look, Stella Obasanjo orphanage home, they have problem. Oh. Since you are my patient, you are a billionaire, can you help us there? And that is already part of what is going to make them get better. And one day they call you, this is my experience. One day they call you and they say, I'm feeling dizzy. We were somewhere at the governor's place and my eyes started turning, and you check and the BP is low. You have to start reducing drugs. You have to start reducing. So love your neighbor as you love yourself. Whatsoever you do to the least of my brothers is part of medical treatment. Choir, I hope you understand me. Weight management, dancing, exercising, The town planners again, you put the road directly in front of my gate. I have beef for you. So my children cannot ride bicycle. Let's have our green areas back. Let's have our safe areas back. Let's have our schools well planned. Let's be able to move. If I want to exercise now and I'm walking down Abiola Way, half the cars will stop. Dr. Kilode, I'm just exercising, more. And nobody will tell me not to come down that road the next day. Sometimes, the whole community where you are helps you gain weight. Helps you gain weight. So our local, our traditional food is good. Our unprocessed food is good. Milo is not our traditional food, though. Upstairs. Milo is not our traditional food. Our traditional food is good, it is healthy. Some of the processed food, most of the processed food has too much calorie packed inside. Does anybody bake here? Who bakes? Choir, who bakes? You don't have soprano, you don't have drummer. Do you have a baker? If you bake, you'll be shocked at how much calorie goes into just 8 inches. When I bake, I cut the sugar, boya dangote or whatever, and to get to the 400 grams, I'm pouring granulated sugar. Does anybody have that experience? And I'm like, my patient must not see me doing this. It looks criminal. Those baked foods, they pack in fact, kilograms of death in them. So they shouldn't be what we take frequently. Occasional won't kill you, but regular will. The drinks, the low sugar juice is a lie. Low sugar juice, 1 liter, 16 oranges equivalent. Average size orange, 1 liter of low sugar, no added sugar, juice in paper pack that they are selling down the road is equal to concentrate of 16 oranges. Can I take 16 oranges in 1 week? It's unlikely. But because of the way it is packaged, it is dressed up to look doable. The way sin is often dressed up is the way those juice packs are dressed up. It makes it so easy. You can take 1.5 in a day. And that is where weight comes from. So for us mothers who work, come home from market or from clinic or from school, wherever we work, you cook for everybody, you are too tired, you can't eat, so you lie down. If you are Ijebu Gari left with Ijebu Gari with sugar, with ice cold water, with granite, calorie is packed in. You've not eaten, no. Or if you are very busy, after cooking, you want to mark the script of children, so Coke with ice. Whose father ever gave them Coke with ice cube inside? Almost nobody. Whose mommy gave them Coke with ice cube packed inside? They will now add water inside. Almost everybody. Your mom never gave you that ice with Coca-Cola, with ice cube, with water added to make you feel like there is no sugar. The sugar didn't run out. It's still there. Whether you added water or not. Moms, the sugar is still there. If you like, if you add a bottle of Coca-Cola to a 25 kg keg of ice water, it's still your 16 cubes of sugar or 12.5 cubes of sugar that you drank. It does not change it. All right. Let's talk about phone, screen, crying babies, and weight gain. What's the job of phone in gaining weight? If I come for night vigil, I will feel sleepy. True or false? If I'm watching Kwara State attack by bandits, I can be awake till 4 a.m. easily. I will not feel sleepy. True or false? So screen time increases our tendency to weight gain. So whether you're doing your dissertation, whether you're just a grandma trying to calm your baby, you give them baby shark doodoo to be looking on this, the baby will gain weight. Omo grandma, they are always puffed out. Baby shark doodoo, the child will not run around, the child will not fall down, will not cry. All those things are part of life. You carry the child will now jump down to pick another thing to run around. Weight gain starts even from them, those habits. So our school people and Ministry of Education help us. Paperwork is not so bad. All this computer, I'm against. Not because it also even, in fact, another part that exposes them to so many things on screen. The ads you can't block, even if you are restricting. But also movement is cut short by our televisions, our computer use, our early phone exposure to our children. Talk less of to us. Choir, I hope you will sing a song to discourage people from overusing phone, especially at night. Otherwise, I won't go home. Automation. I went to somewhere in Ibarra, the Colonial, and they put up, beautiful place, and they have the traditional grinding stone in one corner there. And my children haven't seen grinding stone anywhere else before. So you should go there and look at grinding stone. Choir, do you know what grinding stone is? One more. It's a lie. Eh? Okay. It's only in JCCI that the choir knows grinding stone. Blender versus grinding stone. I can blend half basket of tomato at 2 a.m. with my blender. With grinding stone, I will sweat. And that's the idea. Human life, we are supposed to sweat. Anything that reduces your capacity to sweat was touted as civilization. But civilization is now killing the people. So I think that we all need to look for where they are selling grinding stone. What am I saying? Automation, the escalators, the lifts, they reduce our walking around. Our cars, they reduce our walking around. I'm very grateful. The honor shown me, I was allowed to park at the entrance. But that's not safe for me. It is healthier for me to have been forced to park on Ododoeye and then I walk down here. That's healthier, So gyms, without gyms, but whatever you can do at home, in school, if you are the headmaster, park a little far and then walk to your office. And when you forget something in the car, walk by yourself. Don't send the messenger all the time. Figure out what to add a little more. For our daddies, we like taking care of you. So we bring your food, we carry the food back, the plates back, we bring your water, we carry the water back. Help us to live longer by telling us, don't worry, let me do it myself. If you can, cook too. I don't know if Pastor allows me to say that. Move around. Don't sit in one place. Sometimes it's the women that are killing the men. By becoming their automation, the women automate everything, and the men don't move so much. And then the blood pressure rises. And the plate of drugs, every 10 years, is doubling in size. It's doubling in size. That plate of drugs, our intention as doctors is to reduce it by putting us on our feet, more activity, more moving around. You can stop me if you have a question or a contribution. So alcohol is so nicely dressed up now that 2 weeks ago, I went to buy bread, and by the fridge, I saw something that I hadn't seen in a long time. Pure heaven, in can. I hadn't seen it in a long time. And I said, I'll buy this thing. Now, these children will first tell me, Mommy, sugar. Oh. But let me buy it, let me show them. So I thought I bought 4 cans of pure heaven. I have 4 children. And then my son sent me a message. He's in his final class now, so he now has a phone. I didn't get phones for my children for a long time. I want you to help me to do the same, as much as you can. Until school insists, don't get your children phones. So he sent me a message. And he said, Mommy, that drink you bought, it tasted funny. So I checked the label. And I felt very proud because I've made them so used to checking. Don't assume. Check label, check. And that's life. Question everything. And he said, what you thought was pure heaven is another thing. My eyes read pure heaven. It was an alcoholic drink. It was 5% alcohol. 2 weeks ago. So alcohol is increasingly being dressed up. There are pink drinks, pink bottles, there's chocolate. The chocolate is bigger. Then at the back, and I started using glasses recently, you will now see it's not that thing, but it's that thing they may even put on ice. It's inside bottle, on ice. Alcohol has its calorie content that is like Coca-Cola. So you can gain weight on alcohol. But it doesn't need digestion. And I don't know why the dangerous things, they don't need assistance. The world is so tough. It doesn't need digestion. Gari needs digestion. Palm oil needs digestion. Meat needs digestion. Alcohol doesn't need. So you drink it, it just goes straight into the body. There is a generator in our heart. It's called the SA node, sinoatrial node. It generates each heartbeat. Alcohol just moves from here straight. It mixes. No, it doesn't need any transporter. Straight to the SA node and switches off the generator or speeds it up. So you find out that a person that doesn't even take alcohol at all can take 1 drink and it touches the SA node and the damage is completed for life. Because if you switch off the generator, the heart goes still or the heart overdrives. And the rest of the body, anything can happen. Strokes can happen, kidneys can fail, and all that. So, pelebe. It's so available. It's so easy. If we ask for healthy fruit, you have to look for it, you have to wash it, you have to peel it. But pelebe is there. There is no pelebe for fruits. So I don't know if you have food tech people here to help us. Maybe you should pelebeize healthy food somehow. All alcohol is dangerous. All. 0% alcohol is the only safe alcohol. 0. That means no alcohol. All. So they used to say red wine is good for your heart. Please, I'm the heart doctor. I've never said so. So who told you? So they did a small study in France looking at the cholesterol balance of a small group. Before you say something is good, vitamin C is good for human, you will do thousands of people. HIV drug is safe for people, you will do thousands. Blood pressure medication is safe, you will do millions for blood pressure, millions. Diabetes, millions. These ones, they just took a few people, in France. And they said they want to study those that take a little wine, wine, not vodka, with lunch, because it's their tradition, their own traditional food that their body has tested since their ancestors. Our own ewedu has been tested since our own ancestors. And they found that in their own area, where heart attack is the bigger problem, the heart attack cholesterol, in those ones who took a little wine with lunch, Tony, plenty cholesterol, croissant, mayonnaise, everything. French people have plenty cholesterol-soaked food. They said those ones did better. And they suspected that they had fewer heart attacks because they had more antioxidants in that type of wine. Kinshasa South African vineyard red wine. In that wine, squeezed from French grapes, they had flavonoids that are antioxidant. They suspected not the alcohol in the wine, but the antioxidant that colored the wine. Ewedu has antioxidants. Zobo has antioxidants. There is no vegetable that doesn't have antioxidants. Fruits, antioxidants. Please look for your antioxidants without the alcohol. So no red wine, no. I have had the opportunity to do heart scans for many Muslims. Many Muslims. And they've been doing something that we have not been doing so much. They are so fixed on alcohol abstinence. And when you look at what is called their diastolic function, I've had more Muslims with normal diastolic function at end of life than any other group. That means that if they have certain cardiac emergencies, they will survive. We won't. If we take alcohol. They eat the same food, they have even more wives, they have more wahala, they have more school fees to pay, they have, why does their diastolic function seem so consistently better? The only sign I can find is that alcohol abstinence. And we have many young Christians who are at end-stage heart failure. They don't have BP issues, they don't have sugar issues. What they do is alcohol. So I want us to open up. Don't stigmatize people to the point that they can't talk about this, because they cannot then get help. There are women who take a lot of alcohol. Sometimes you ask a woman, do you take alcohol? And she says, no, I don't. Okay, but you do take Irish cream sometimes. Oh, yes. It is whiskey. Irish cream is not a funny alcohol. I don't know how many percent. It's whiskey strength. There is the other one that is white and red in can that the young women take too. I've forgotten the name now. Smirnoff. Smirnoff is Swedish also. Do you know those sailors? No, man, Smirnoff. Oh. How can you be taking the same Smirnoff that pirates of those days were taking? It's a lot of alcohol. So it's directly toxic to the heart. It's directly toxic to the heart. The holiday heart syndrome is something that is well studied. Holiday heart syndrome. You have a party during a holiday, and then that's the only time you buy alcohol, because some people will come that you can't say no to, who take alcohol. That's where the young people start learning how to take alcohol from. So let's be a little careful. Let's be very careful. Tobacco can be an issue. There are people who live in cold environments and there's a high amount of smoking. If you jackpot to those areas, you become a second-hand smoker. And it increases the risk of heart attacks. It increases the risk of lung damage. So maybe we should make our country better so we don't jackpot to places where you dare not tell your boss that is smoking in front of you. It accelerates the aging. Tobacco smoke accelerates aging. So it may reduce appetite and people will slim down when they smoke. But the other things that it does doesn't make it worth it. It increases the chances of cancer in different organs: pancreas, intestine, hands, skin, tongue, esophagus, the food pipe, the stomach. You know, I've not even talked of lung cancer. They used to say lung cancer. It's even beyond lung cancer. So many other cancers are commoner where people are exposed to smoke. Childhood asthma is also common. So if you come to church and nobody knows you smoke and you're smoking at home, the children will get asthma. I know nobody does that here. I'm giving you information that will make you remember. So if you remember the gist, you remember the science. I've not talked of the obvious things. Did you notice? What is blood pressure? How many millimeters? I'm not going there yet. I may not get there today. Let me talk of the ones that we tend not to talk about. We talked of life course. Life course approach to health means that from children to parents to grandparents, everybody is involved in the health of the family. If everybody is involved, we must talk about bleaching. A lot of the people who use bleaching agents use bleaching creams or soaps that have a drug called steroid. And steroids are steroids. The stress steroid in our body is like the steroid in those creams. So it can cause one to have high blood pressure, high blood sugar, kidney problems, weight gain, blood clots that can kill within the heart can come from just bleaching cream. So I tell people, sunscreen, creams that have sunscreen are helpful. There are creams that are plant-based that are available now that also help to tone skin. There are creams and body, when I say cream, I'm talking of the whole body product spectrum, that have milk added or some vitamin C that don't have steroids. Try and avoid the ones that have steroid. Because yes, it will make the skin look the way society may want the skin to look, but it will cause major problems that make us look bad. Because when there is steroid in the system, the normal treatment of cardiovascular disease is ineffective for to a very large extent. So please, don't tell people they don't need to take care of their skin, because we know the truth is that you like people with better skin. True or false? Choir, I didn't hear an answer. Are we sleepy? Have I spent an hour plus? I think I have. I said the truth, or I said you should answer. You like people with better skin. True or false? Say the truth loud now. True. So why not take care of the skin? So we should take care of the skin. But let's use those things that are safer. One thing that causes skin problem is stress. Another one is sugar. You get more pimples with sugar, not with granite or butter. Sugar. That is the science. The more sugar you take, the more the pimples, acne, comes out. The more stress you have, married women, the more it stresses you, the worse your skin will be. Sorry for joking, but I hope it makes you remember. So skincare is more than skin deep. Skincare is skin deep. Let's avoid anything that has steroids. If you are not sure, ask the person you are buying from, ask the pharmacy, ask a doctor or a nurse. If we are not sure, we'll always get the dermatologist and they'll tell you true or false. It is not funny to have kidney failure in women just because of skincare. And that is a major problem that we have. High blood pressure in women because of skincare programs. Those are major issues. So please, let's be safe. Drug abuse is with us now. And because everything the devil brings is dressed up, we miss it. Please don't say there is no drug abuse even within the church. When Job, in the book of Job, when God asked the devil, where have you been? Shebi, he said he was doing work. The work he's doing wasn't with the bad people. So I have lost some young people from church. Drug abuse. Be in the schools, especially the extension class times. the Form 3 and Form 6, or Year 3 and Year 6, or Basic 10 and Basic 30. Or that. You know what I'm talking about. Those periods where children must compulsorily be in school, it's a time when the devil steals them. And the drugs come in through, people are cleaning in those places. People are guarding the gates in those places. People are mowing lawn. Some are assistants. Some have a business. That's their business. And they may be the biology or the physics teacher. But their business is that they trade in amphetamine. And the child that you can afford to send to boarding house, pay JAM fee for, pay WAEC fees for, pay IGCSE fees for, has the money. So that's how bad the devil is. So you see a 17-year-old, I can never forget, the 17-year-old boy, he was breathing thrice in a minute. We thought he was dead. Took his blood sample, sent to the lab for analysis. He had tramadol, he had amphetamine, he had diazepam. 17-year-old, able-bodied, calm young boy. He died that night. He died around 1:20 a.m. following day. Before the parents who had kept him in this very disciplined government school, before they could come, their child was gone. And I told myself that every time I have the opportunity, I'm going to speak about it. These are not nightclub parents. We saw them, they looked very respectable. I think that it is only the church that can save us. For those of us who work, we know it's God who keeps our children. For those of us who work odd hours, you can't always be there. So we can't move alone. We have to move together. You have to evangelize everybody that comes in contact with my own child, for my child to be free of that scourge. What do hard drugs do? They fire up the heart, they fire up their minds, they burn up their energy, they burn up their body. It is in ABEOKUTA. Sometimes we cause it. We give conflicting signals to young people. I'm praying for the day I drive by Iwe Rowing on the way to saving an emergency on a Friday, and I see that road just half clear. We are the cause. When young people don't listen, it is the generation before that failed. We give the wrong impressions. We give wrong value. If somebody is 60, has retired, he didn't steal enough, we don't even go for the party. The more the stealing, the bigger the party. So we need to be telling the young people why there is no value in that, for them to be able to say no to drugs. It's all connected. It's all connected. If you bring a child who has had drug toxicity from these hard drugs to the hospital, that child is not likely to survive. That child may not even be able to get off the addiction for life. There is no hospital that has a ready answer anywhere in the world. But people are beginning to. So I was happy to hear of a lady, a Pastor Christy Bature, who is working with drug addiction. I think she left Kaduna and moved to Port Harcourt, some crazy story like that. I mean, that's God's leading. I feel that the church should be at the forefront of this thing, because a lot of drug abuse really looks spiritual. That's the one area of medicine where you almost cannot win. And then you have people who get off it and you cannot explain. We scientists cannot explain, but you can. it would appear I've only finished one presentation. So I'm going to wait for your questions and decide on whether we will need a second presentation. I hope I am free, I am permitted. All right then. So with these few words of mine, I hope I have convinced you that my health depends on you as well. Thank you. We can have questions. Choir, you can move there if you don't have questions. You can move back.
Well, this is supposed to be the part one. I don't know whether we have time for part two, but let's see. The lecturer says that he will welcome questions. Are there questions? You can, on any area. Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Praise the Lord. Well, I want to first of all appreciate our guest minister. She's my doctor. I don't know whether she recognized me or not. Through paying the Shobulo and the Shobulo families. There was a year like that during the convention, before the COVID, that I was stretched. The Thursday of the convention, I was taken to her hospital. I was there for 3 days. Since that time, she has been my doctor. Eba mdupe lo. Eba dupe that I want for me discounts next time. Praise the Lord. Please, I want you to talk about, you have been talking about salt, and I know it's because of sodium. Now, there are a lot of fruits that also have, I think potassium that is also good, that the body can use to replace the sodium. Please, maybe you can help us so that people will also think about that, like bananas and others. I hope my question is clear, ma'am. Okay.
Please, more questions.
Thank you so much, Doctor. May God bless your soul. I like your starting, area with borders on town planning, and that is where I would like to talk from. Let me come out because 8 issues borders on town planning, and I want us to listen.
Can you declare your bias, sir? I totally forgot.
Let's start here. And I want us to have a clear understanding. I'd like to give a simple definition of town planning. And I want us to listen very carefully. Because everybody here, including yourself, Doctor, you have also, one way or the other, contributed to all these manners we talk about in planning. What is town planning? It is simply the ordering, of use of land to secure a maximum degree of confidence and beauty. That's not a simple definition. Ordering the use of land to secure a maximum degree of confidence and beauty. I want us to think in that direction. I will not take more than 2-3 minutes. I want us to listen. Then you want to buy a land to build your home. It starts from there. And to do us the good, you mentioned play area, recreational area, all manners of things. Layout is what you should ask for. If you are buying land, anywhere you want to buy land that does not have a layout, then register it in your brain that you are contributing to health-related issue, whether now or in the future. My question, everybody seated here, you have violated one planning law or the other. So we are the problem for ourselves. All of these play areas, all of this traditional route and the stuff, you see, health is a communal thing, planning is a communal thing, and every one of us needs to be aware of all of this. My question is, when people come for all of this, you know, whether we like it or not, the age we are in is not those age that we mentioned. Medical or health sciences will also help us. How do we live our life to be able to, you know, have the better health we talk about? In view of our current challenges, what my father did, you know, he started having to walk kilometers. It's not going to happen. I cannot do it. So there should be a way that you guys need to help us put this story together. Thank you so much for giving me this time. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. My question is there anything like a 3 square meal? Is there anything like a 3 square meal? Which one is the most important? Is it the breakfast or the lunch or the dinner? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Please, I want you to expatiate further now on what causes cancer. Because when we were growing up, we heard of cancer of the breast, cancer of the cervix, and then leukemia, cancer of the blood. Now, nowadays, we begin to hear of cancer of the kidney, cancer of the brain, cancer of this. What causes it? And then dementia in adults and bipolar disease. Thank you.
Praise the Lord. Now, when you started with the definition of the health by the World Health Organization. You started with the definition of health by the World Health Organization. A state of complete physical, social, emotional, psychological well-being of an individual, not absence of diseases or infirmity. Agreed. Is it attainable to be able to read that card? Not merely absence of diseases or infirmity. Is it attainable? Number 2, it's about nutrition. Please, you can even just help us to explain more about the importance of this nutrition, particularly at this era when to get 3 square meal it's always difficult. Some people even there on more than the real meat. Praise the Lord. You know that real meat, protein, and some others. Please help us, give us more explanation of this importance of nutrition, or what we call balanced diet. Now, exercises. I did physical and health education. Please help us explain more of this need for these exercises, rest and sleep and so on. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. I keep having, I don't know how I keep having this issue of people talking about sugar intake, level of sugar intake, diabetes and all. But the thing I've had when I was a little bit younger, these Japanese will always tell you that taking sugar is not the issue. This whether you burn the sugar or store it in your system that is the issue. So if you take sugar and you're able to burn the sugar regularly, you don't have any problem. Are you able to burn the sugar? That's what they said is the problem. But if you take sugar and you are not able to burn it, you have a problem. But if you can burn the sugar that you are taking, you don't have a problem. So the issue of, a lot of us do a lot of mental work. So you take a lot of sugar, in fact, sometimes you get to a particular stage, you discover, you know that you need sugar. When you do a lot of this mental work or physical work, you really need a lot of sugar to build up yourself. So we do it all the time, but so I keep having this complaint sometimes. My wife keeps saying, oh, you are taking too much of sugar. But I know I burn it. I take sugar, I burn the sugar. It doesn't stay in my system. So some people always wonder that I don't have sugar problem. I say I will not have sugar problem because I burn the sugar that I take. I just want a little explanation on that. Thank you.
Hello, ma. Thank you so much for your interactive presentation. I want to ask, in line with what our Papa has raised concerning salt, and it is understandable, how do you want to advise our wives on how we can reduce the consumption of salt and even the use of sweetener in our food, and the implication, if you have any recipe, because it looks as if most of the food we consume in this part of the country, you either use salt or you use sweetener like Maggi, like Tia Chef or whatever you have. Please, we need a kind of an advice on this.
Let me take the questions.
Hello, ma'am.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord.
Ngọmọ yàtọ̀ sí bí ìmọ̀ pápá ọdún mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dọ́gbọ̀n orí mo lọ Jerusalem mo lọ lọ́jọ́ 12 èyí kì í ṣe iṣẹ́ mi nìkan ṣo òun dẹ̀dẹ̀ ayé mọ́ ìjà wa yìí oríṣi ọdún 7 kémi tó lọ èmi ọmọ mi rè rán mi lọ ọmọ mi jẹ́ pé orí pẹ̀tẹ́sì rẹ̀ máa jókòó sí àbí ẹ̀rí ènìyàn nísàlẹ̀. Ẹ̀bí ìgbéléra ayé bá jókòó sí rẹ̀ máa jókòó sí. Owó òtòkè ó pàdé ta jù èmi ń kó ṣerú ẹ̀. Àlọ́sá ìbòdìjọ́ kẹfà ya dọ̀hùn ẹnìkan kú ẹnìkan ìkó ọdẹ láti mẹ́rù adẹ́lọ́láyọ̀ abọ́láyọ̀ alọ́láyọ̀ abọ́láyọ̀ títí jọjọ́ ẹ̀nì ń kó ìkú ó. Mo wá dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run. Mo wá dúpẹ́.
Grandma JP, adúpẹ́.
Mo fẹ́ gbà sọ́run.
Wọ́n ti fún Grandma JP àbí? Ṣé wọ́n fún Grandma certificate JP ṣá? Wọ́n gba certificate wọn àti Bible Jordan water yẹn. Congratulations, ma. Let's tackle what we have on ground.
Good morning, ma'am. Just one last question, ma'am.
Is that a chorister?
Hello, ma'am.
Okay.
My last question, please. My question here. Please, I want to talk about advocacy. I don't know if there are any suggestions as regards advocacy.
Yes.
Two things. We know that sometimes it could be challenging getting fresh food items from the market, because already from the source they are adulterated. Maybe they have been grown with the aid of chemicals and all of that. These days, nobody knows the implication of using GMO seeds and all of that.
So why doesn't church farm?
I wouldn't, ma'am?
Church can farm. If we're not sure, I'm not joking.
All right.
I remember going down to, I think we went to Odeda, because I started getting worried that, okay, we are sitting down at the clinic talking about, healthy food. Shouldn't I go and check how food is made? I'm a Benue woman, so I know how food is made.
I'm also a farmer.
Yes, so church can farm.
All right.
where your heart is, that's where you can put passion and all of that. Church can farm.
All right.
We are doing halls and all of those things. Anything church puts their mind to do, church will do well. Education, hospital, mission, farm. So that's the advocacy I'm doing here. And I'm happy that you are in line with that. So I know that JCCI Farms is coming up soon. If church farms, we'll be sure of what we are putting in the ground. Let me tell you, in the US, there are many scares. Some are fringe theory, some we're not sure. People believe that food chain is being altered. And that is part of why some cancers and things are coming up. It may be a lie, it may be true, but if we are not at the table, how do we know? So it shouldn't just be about Wednesday Bible study, Sunday this, then the rest of the week, abuse everybody else. No, let's get down, find out what's in the food chain. And you have all the professors that can help you here. So no better place to start. Let's talk about potassium-rich foods. Thank you, Daddy. Sorry, I really need my glasses. I want to come near. I'm so happy to see so many of my daddies here. I didn't know I was reporting myself. Potassium, a lot of potassium in banana, a lot of potassium in vegetables. So list of potassium is practically list of vegetables. Cabbage, green pepper, ata, rodo, they have potassium. Watermelon, potassium. Banana, you are very correct, has quite a lot of potassium. So we don't lack. That's why I said locally we already have all of this. Please don't buy potassium tablets and take. It can kill. To take potassium as a chemical alone, it can stop the heart. So unless the doctor tells you, take this dose, most people won't even give you potassium as a drug for more than 2 weeks. Whatever is making you need potassium tablet for more than 2 weeks, you will be on admission. Community. Thank you so much, sir. Community is health. Oh. I said it from the start that if you are expecting that there is one very good doctor that you have, so you will live forever, it won't happen, no. We can't be healthy in our silos. We must move together to be healthy. And it may sound as if, one is castigating and all of it. It's all about knowledge. Bring information out, and we take it home, and we base decision-making in the long term on the knowledge that we have. The Bible says that, the people die where there isn't knowledge. So in every single point, if you live in a house, the next person's bush is bringing monkeys, you will get yellow fever. So if the person has died or traveled, help him clear his bush. You are helping yourself as well. So it's communal. If you are a politician, please don't make the job difficult for technocrats. If you're a technocrat, please don't help the politicians steal. It's so complicated, but we must start from somewhere. The starting at least is the knowing. You may not be able to have a revolution like Traore is doing, but we do need a revolution, if you ask me, to be able to rearrange life so that if someone has thrived in physical and health education, he should not still be looking for petrol at an affordable price in his twilight years. If he can't get petrol, his son is not going to agree with what I'm saying. He's going to look for how to make money. So iniquity just keeps sinking us. In every point where we are, it's what is drawing us. It's not lack of knowledge. We have knowledge. Each of us has a solution to Nigeria. Each of us is a better president than whichever president we have met. So I think the bigger picture really, the bigger issue really, I think, is that doing the right thing when it's, it's our chance or it behoves on us too. 3 square meals, yes, you can do this assignment that over the next 2 weeks. It's difficult, but over the next 2 weeks, write down what you eat and what you drink. It's a difficult assignment, as simple as it may seem. Write it down. And after 2 weeks, look at it and see whether it speaks good of you. You know what my own will look like on some days? Morning, dash, that's 0. Afternoon, dash, that's 0. Evening, I will start very nicely. 1 apple, half cucumber. You think I know what I'm doing, Abi? 1.5 hours after that, 1/3 bottle of Coke with ice. I'm talking of me. After treating all the people with high sugar and high BP. Morning food, dash. Afternoon, dash. How many women here have breakfast and have lunch? Thrice a week. It's not common anymore. It's not common anymore. And then by 10 p.m., rice with fish. 10 p.m. 10 p.m. I'm not talking of you, I'm talking of me, ma. Rice and fish is healthy, isn't it? 10 p.m. So, we all need help. I need you to take care of yourself, take care of your neighbors, take care of your family, so that I don't have emergencies. And when I don't have emergencies, I'm likely to have a good night's sleep, then have breakfast, then lunch. And you know our brains, you get wired into what you keep doing, you know. So write what you eat for 2 weeks and what you drink. 5 alive, mawanwe. 5 alive, how much? Remember the 16 oranges in 1 pack. And then malt, low sugar malt. Then you add water. Oh, mawanwe. Fried egg, fried yam, fried plantain, fried. Just write it, judge yourself. So it's not even, it's just small changes we're asking. Take the fruits every day, small changes. Let's start with small changes. Don't overhaul everything. Start with small changes. The children, Indomie, Capri Sun, biscuits, Paligi. Then God help us when Christmas comes. My Christmas diet. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Some will say Zobo. Zobo is that drink that when so if you decide you won't take Coke, you are now taking Zobo. Please take breakfast. Whatever the breakfast is, at least even start having a regular breakfast. The problem is that we're not even having a regular breakfast. Even regular fried yam, talk more of regular boiled yam with low salt. Let's not kid ourselves. You know. So 3 square meals. I'm not talking about the cost. Now, okele, size of your hand. Not more. Okele. There is no salt in okele. Size of your hand, not more. I love my husband. So every time I want to make okele, I don't know how to make small okele. So I'm part of the problem that he has. I don't know if you know. To make okele the size of your hand is difficult, unless you are a single girl. You know, okele size of your hand. So every time you're eating okele, remember what I said. Balance it with the vegetable and the fish. Have breakfast, have dinner, then you can have okele the size of your hand. Did you hear me? Have breakfast. Did you have breakfast? If you have breakfast, you wouldn't need double decker. That's the idea. If you had breakfast, you are not likely to have a terribly big lunch. That's just the idea. This my hand is not too small, it's not too big, Abby. Daddy's hand. Please let me see your fist. If you want it to be 4, and you put all together, it should be the size of this, your hand. So possible. Now, if you had dinner, and you had breakfast, and you have lunch, it's possible. So it's not a single rule. But you're not having breakfast. So your lunch too is even late. So you need to eat more. So your blood sugar spikes are going very low, very high, very low, very high, very low. And then at 10 p.m. you'll be hungry a bit again, even though you ate at 7:30. So it's about a rhythm. It's not that, oh, today I will abstain from sin. Then tomorrow, since I didn't sin at all, I'll now make up for it. It's the same thing with food. Regular. Now, if you have 3 square meals, you have fruits in between once or twice, or nuts and fruits same day. You are not too hungry. Those are like perfectionist rules, but they are doable. Because Daddy said, is it possible? He is a testimony that is possible. If you have fruits, you have nuts. Your heart needs nuts. It needs coconut or granite or in a day. So if you have a little bit of nuts, you have a little bit of fruit. You actually don't need 10 pounds of okele. Easier said than done. I struggle with it too. But I know that when I'm not doing the right thing, then I can explain why my BMI will not be the way it's supposed to be, even though I may only eat once a day properly. So you can set the target and then attain, aspire to attain your target. But when there's no target at all, then people are lost. So 3 square meals, have I answered it? The other aspect of 3 square meals is the poverty that we have. That people cannot even afford the feeding. So health is one thing, or what is 3 square meals supposed to be. But even the fact that we can't afford it is a big issue. And so we need to move together. I think as Christians, we need to bond together and start to take care of people. We don't have an option. If we don't take care of them, we're not doing what we should be doing. So I think a little bit should go to feeding some group. I also prefer anonymous giving, so that you're not a target, you're not a source. In ABEOKUTA, if you give somebody something, well, that's my own experience now. You want to help somebody, you give a patient free drug or money to help, or you do a test for free. I remember doing a heart scan for free for an indigent patient. About 13 months later, they came looking for me, sir. They said I took her menstrual period with the test, Timoshe. She had rheumatic heart disease, heart failure. So it's difficult to help too. I also remember another one, Tony Omowoni marasmus. And so I started to buy, as I was buying for my baby, I was buying a supplement for them. And then one day she just leaves a message through my ECG nurse. Àwọn àfáà ti rí pé mo fẹ́ lo destiny ọmọ yẹn. So it's easier to give through. No, but we all have those experiences now, don't we? So I couldn't return the menstrual. So do you see that the church has so much to do with our health, our mental health? People have suffered. That's why they do those things. And you can't be afraid. You go down to their level to understand them. You think I was offended. I can't be offended. They've suffered and they don't know. And that's what they know. That's what they know. It's you that can help us. So cancer is usually, very simply put, is cells that refuse to die. Everything must die. That's the way of nature. If you have cells in the body and then they no longer die off, blood cells after about 4 months should die off. Some other cells should die off. There are some cells that don't grow, they don't change, they remain as they are as adults. They stay static. But most cells must die off. When they don't die off, it means the switch that cleans cells up has failed. And those clumps grow continually until they now kill the rest of. Why cells must die is that when their job is done, if they linger, they take the nutrition of the other cells. So you see that a person who has cancer starts losing weight. Those cells continue to take the nutrition meant for other cells. That's simply what cancer is. We are diagnosing more now. Knowledge is expanding, so we now see more. It's not that those things weren't there. They used to be aye, they used to be offer, they used to be, now they are getting their name. There are also the environmental toxins. When people sell stockfish, they put sniper. They sell beans, they put something. They sell, sometimes buy food that has a little kokoro in it, you are a bit safer. When the thing is looking too clean to be true, it's true. It's too clean to be true. So sometimes we have chemical exposures. Sometimes, like Daddy said, we build across drain. So the thing that is draining from maybe an industrial area or a technical area, mechanical area, is now entering, the groundwater that your own borehole will eventually, peak. We never know. So the quality control, quality assurance people too, at NAFDAC, you have work too. So I agree that cancer is overwhelming. We are picking it earlier. So we have to deal with it earlier. That's one of the problems with technology. Dementia basically is a function of people losing cognition. They are losing their memory. They are losing how they recognize, how they calculate. The higher your blood pressure, the higher the chances of losing brain function. So it may not be a stroke, it can be dementia. Some are syndromes. They are rare. They are not things you can say what caused. But majority have to do with the same things that we have talked about being preventable. High blood pressure, diabetes, alcohol. Alcohol causes dementia too. Trauma, accidents, head trauma, accidents, abuse, whether domestic, whether child abuse, all forms of abuse can also affect cognition and cause dementia. Bipolar disease is a psychiatric disease. It has always been there. But now we diagnose. Now it's difficult if you want to throw your person away. It's difficult to throw your person away. There are too many tracks that will catch you. In the olden days, they throw people away. They sell them to slavery. They just hide them away. Now we're all in each other's face, whether we like it or not. So it will have to be addressed. Bipolar disease, I'm not exactly the person to speak on. You need a psychiatrist to talk on bipolar disease. Is it preventable? Not really. Can it be managed? To an extent. Is all the management of bipolar disease medical? No. And that's where community is important as well. Nobody can manage mental illness alone, in truth, even if you are a professor of that. Is good health attainable? Is salvation attainable? The same question. Is good health attainable? Is salvation attainable? So the answer is the same. It's the same, sir. Yes, it's difficult, but God makes it easy. There are some things that are not within your control in terms of attaining good health, but God is able to meet us. So it's difficult to have perfect health because not everything depends on just you. But where it depends on you, you can aspire to do your best. I'm sorry, the importance of nutrition, I don't think we need to talk on that one immediately. Again, walking is the best form of exercise for cardiac health. Walking. There are exercises called aerobic exercises. Physiotherapists can advise on that. Swimming is very good as well, but it's not readily available and it takes skill. Walking, you don't need any skill. You need your body to be okay and you can walk. So walking 30 minutes a day for at least 5 days in a week, as if you are late for church or late for a meeting. That's the general prescription. You have the specialist in the house. He can give the rest of that lecture. Grandpa, I'm referring to you, sir. I said, you are the specialist. Then, the Japanese are such a beautiful civilization. You see how they eat. Their okele is not bigger than their hand. The way they eat in moderation generally. So, they may talk about sugar. in the way that the black American cannot. Yes. Moderation in everything. So when I read, when I write, when I have a lot of desk work, I try to be careful because sugar can be tempting. The brain doesn't store sugar, so it's always calling for the sugar. So I get up every 40, 45 minutes. Your attention span shouldn't be more than 40 minutes most times. So get up. Once the mind starts to linger, food can be the distracting call. Your brain will need sugar then. Just sometimes you can dull that craving for sugar. But if you've had breakfast, you are not likely to crave sugar for the rest of the day. If you've not had breakfast, you have low sugar values easily while you walk. So you start to crave sugar because the brain doesn't store sugar, so it calls for sugar. But if you already have given yourself food, it digests slowly into sugar, gently, during the course of your walk. So it doesn't call for sugar. If you've not eaten at all, your body has been running on zero sugar practically. Even when you have that dinner, 2 hours later, you still need sugar. I don't know if you have experienced that. That those busy days, your regular busy days, when you get home, you now eat. You feel that should be enough. But 1.5, 2 hours later, you're looking for something to eat again. Because your body has not given your brain sugar for the day. So the first one that you give, it makes your body pour out the normal, natural insulin to mop up the sugar. So within an hour or two, you now have low sugar again from the reactive insulin of your starvation dinner. So everything gently, frequent, regular, not frequent, easy. Fruits, nuts. Every day will not be a perfect day, but let's encourage each other. Let's encourage ourselves so that we all get to the front row together. Daddy said, our wives, I should talk to you. What are you doing about sugar? I'm almost bouncing the question back. That our mothers, talk to your sons to be part of the discussion. You know, let's not limit it to just wives. The person who has encouraged me the most to live healthy is actually my husband. Not the knowledge that I have. You know, so you having the knowledge, you having information, you are a major stakeholder. The truth is that the way we are socialized, even if a woman knows the right thing to do, she won't do it if she feels that's not what you want. So it doesn't matter the amount of knowledge. So the father or the father figure is a very important decision maker in whether the family will be healthy or will pick up healthy attitudes. Please, mommies, as you cook, try not to add salt to white rice. Try not to, I hardly make jollof rice at home because you must salt jollof rice. So don't make jollof rice your go-to food. Then when you boil yam, don't add, you know when you roast yam, you don't necessarily have to add salt, and it doesn't taste so bad. So when you boil yam too, don't. If you take care of rice, yam, and boiled beans, you've already done a significant amount of salt reduction. Then make your sauces moderately seasoned. Meats and fish, moderately salted. People roast fish without salt, and it is nice. I don't know if we have that experience. Any fish that you roast, even without salt in it, still has some flavor. So it's about relearning low salt. It's not really about punishing yourself and feeling sorry for yourself. And when you feel sorry for yourself, if you have high blood pressure and you must reduce salt, remember me who didn't need to have a reason, except the fact that I have to talk to you one day to start reducing salt so many years back. Don't feel too bad. Please, if your mom is still alive and she wants to, please sponsor her to Jerusalem. Because when she's no longer there, like mine, that's one of the things that will make you happy. Whether you like Jerusalem or not, whether you know whether Israel was there in 1948 or not, please, if your mom wants to go to Jerusalem, Just gather that money before you jackpot. Let your mom go to Jerusalem. I beg you. So congratulations to Grandma. And with these few words of mine, I hope I have convinced. Oh, I'm sorry, there are a few. There are many. Drinking blended ewedu without cooking it. Don't do that. Drinking blended ewedu, let's finish the papers. Don't do that. It needs to be cooked so that you also don't get the parasites in. And it will still be healthy. The other thing is, when you blend vegetables a lot and drink, oxalates can give us kidney stones. I'm not saying ewedu will give you kidney stone. But the people that blend vegetables, they blend everything. They won't stop at blending ewedu. So please, the way they've made ewedu historically is still good. Just do it that way. I'll just run through this. Constant and serious stomach rumbling. You may have high acid. Sometimes our body does things, but it's our mind that is not well. If one is very stressed, worried, family problems, marital problems, spiritual worry, all sorts, you may be secreting, because of stress, a higher level of acid. So it gives a lot of rumbling. Whether you eat or not, you're rumbling. Most of the time, treatments for ulcer may help. Sometimes antibiotics may help. But if there is a root cause of worry and stress, it will have to be addressed. I'm not the best person to see. I think you should see the Reverend after church. Your advice will reduce sugar, but there are some fruits with sugar. Fruit sugar is not concentrated the way refined sugar is concentrated. So it is good sugar. Now, if you start blending all the sugar, you can blend apple and eat 10 when it's blended. If you chew it, you won't be able to eat 10. So if you are the type that when you blend, you see that you are taking a lot more fruit, then just chew or dice. So fruit sugar is safe. I'm sorry. Food supplements are not always necessary. If a person is recovering from illness, yes, they are very helpful. They may be prescribed, but they are not necessarily prescription drugs. If you eat healthily and you don't have a major medical illness, you really don't need food supplements. Now, people who are on diabetes medication like metformin may need more vitamin B, because metformin may reduce absorption of vitamin B and give us tingling and nerve disturbances. So they are the ones that I remember may require vitamin B supplements. Cod liver oil and omega-3 fish oil are good for the heart, but they are not necessarily prescription. So if you need it, the doctors will prescribe, and you will know that, yes, this is my prescription. They are not dangerous. They are beneficial. But we don't want people to also have a mindset where you don't feel okay until you are taking drugs. You know, so it's a balancing. So I think maybe after Grandpa, I will close so that I allow church to go on.
Praise the Lord. Please, this is a general question. Why has it been so difficult for most especially medical practitioners in position of ministers of health in giving us reliable medical facilities in the country? Secondly, what is the place of faith in medical treatment?
So you will help me answer. I will try. Let me start from the easier one. Faith and health are tied. Otherwise, a body as secular as WHO will not define health in terms of the spiritual as well. You know, when I got the request to come and talk on how to take care of our body, I wanted to say about their spirit is already healthy. They don't even need bodily health. When you lose peace, That is when you know that man is a spiritual being. If anything takes your peace away. So you cannot be healthy. Your body will have pain. If you have marital problems, when you wake up in the morning, you have neck pain, you have headache, you feel something moving here, your skin crawl. I don't know if that is your experience. I want to assume that not all of us are married to angels. So just even having, or a quarrel with your sibling, and you are not, your appetite is gone. So those spiritual things are part of who we are. So we can't be healthy if the spirit is sick. And I'm talking as a scientist. People come with fear of heart disease, and there's no heart disease. They have heart pain, and they are feeling it, and you have to respect that. But the problem may not be. I spoke with someone just 2 days ago, and a lot of tests from the US, tests that we did here, and he still feels very ill. And I don't know what I see each day. I enter an office to do my work, and something tells me, ask if he's been bereaved. And it's a whole litany. I said, in the past 2 years, have you lost anybody? Even me, by the time it was done, I was choking back my tears. That the things that will test a person's faith can make them sick. And faith itself can make me see somebody with heart failure, and in 5 years, the heart failure has reversed. He's on the same medication with 100 other people, the same level of treatment or disease with 100 other people. He survives, others don't. The fact that others did not survive may also not be a bad thing. Because if God says that somebody at 33 should die and it is good, we can't say it was the bad thing. So my questions are a bit philosophical. That is our aim to live to be 90, or is our aim to live today in the best way that today should be lived? Sometimes that is of more value to me as a scientist when I see a person live a day with so much more value than to waste 90 years and not have been effective. So I will take maybe the WhatsApp number from I can't remember, Mr. Emmanuel, and then we can answer whatever is left on the WhatsApp page so we don't delay. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. God bless us.